This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Lowen Windows of Vermont and New Hampshire, providing solution-oriented, extraordinary service before, during, and after the sale. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramonto's in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, as we are set to begin the fourth quarter of action in the final 12 minutes of somebody's season, whether it be the Hartford Hurricanes or the Mount Mansfield Cougars. Hartford leading 22-0, but the Cougars driving 3rd down and 5. The handoff inside, this one to number 32, David Seymour. And he is able to gain 4 yards. Looks like it'll be short of the first down, maybe, but they might ask for the chains. We'll see where they spot it. So refs will measure this one here and see what the Cougars will have for themselves, whether it be a first down or a 4th and very short.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramonto's in Claremont. Always fresh, always delicious. In addition to airing our 3 TV stations, all YCN games are posted at ycnnow.com.
So it'll be 4th down, 4th and a good amount. Less than a yard, though. But the way they were looking at it, I thought it'd be an inch or two. It looks like it's the length of the football. Obviously, you'll be going for it on 4th down here for the Cougars. Trying to convert here and keep this drive alive. Could really use an answer. Down 3 scores, and one of those touchdowns, they'll have to get a 2-point conversion. And we're going to have a timeout on the field, so we'll take a break as well. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. 11:43 to play in the fourth quarter, and the Mansfield Cougars face a 22-0 deficit and face a 4th and short. Carlson in the shotgun. He hands it off to Hackney, and Hackney is tripped up. I don't know if he made it. We'll see where they spot it. Tough from our vantage point up here in the press box. Refs looking at the ball and the chains. We're wondering if they'll need another measurement, and I think they will. So they'll bring it back out for another measurement. Looked like he was tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. It's just a question of did he get some momentum over the line, and it's going to be short. Might have even been shorter than the first time. So turnover on downs. Hartford will take over. Good drive there by the Cougars, but at this point in the game, you need points.
Effort on both teams' part there, trying to get that 1 yard for the Hurricanes to prevent it from happening.
Yeah, nice job by Hartford's defense. They've been so solid here all night long. Obviously, recording the shutout here. And really, I think their defense was highlighted when Tyler Hamilton, when the team led up a huge kickoff return. Tyler Hamilton made the tackle at the 5, and the team bared down and forced a turnover. That was a huge play.
This handoff on the left side and cutting back up the middle. He's got a couple men to beat, but he can outrun a couple of them. He had 3 guys chasing them. 1 guy chased him down, and that was number 25, Zachary Burek. Zach Burek on the big gain and then tackled and chased down by Griffin Erickson for 23.
Nice run by Burek. Not sure, but that might have been his first carry of the night. It's a big one.
I believe so, yes.
Picking up 20-plus yards.
Porter in motion. The handoff goes to number 43 on this one. That's Hunter Perkins. And just like that, 2 handoffs, 2 big gains, and Hartford really means business here after stopping the Cougars on downs.
Yeah, and it's tough for Mount Mansfield down by this much this late in the game. Obviously, you're getting fatigued because it is the fourth quarter. People are starting to tire, but when you're down by this much, it's really hard to give it your all. As we can see, they're giving up back-to-back big plays on the ground.
You also wonder if, that stop there on 4th down took the wind out of their sails, and that might have been their last best effort to score and cut into this lead. Hartford taking their time at the line of scrimmage, letting the clock move. And it looks like Hamilton will keep it. He's got the blocker out front, Cody Rhodes. Hamilton does keep it, but a flag on the play in the vicinity of the ball carrier between Rhodes and Hamilton. Got to imagine this will be a holding penalty or a legal block. So march off 10 yards and replay 1st down. We'll put the ball down at the 43-yard line.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all of your printing needs. And Lowen Windows of Vermont and New Hampshire, providing solution-oriented, extraordinary service before, during, and after the sale.
So the Hurricanes, after a couple nice gains, now find themselves in a 1st and long situation. They have to get to about the 20-yard line. 1st and 23. Hamilton will keep it. He's going deep. He has a man wide open. Number 7, Austin Gaudette with the reception. And he's dragged down just outside the end zone by Mason Combs. A big gainer there, and just like that, Hartford has had 3 big plays. And I think that's at the 6-yard line, so I think 37-yard completion.
Yeah, the Cougars have had a hard time covering Gaudette here tonight, and really Gaudette getting behind the secondary. Kind of seemed like the Cougar secondary just kind of saw Gaudette, was like, no, they're not going to pass it to him, but of course Hamilton's going to find Gaudette. He's his favorite target. Really, they're just making it look easy all night long.
So Hamilton under center, 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff up the middle, and that one is back to number 25, Burek, sophomore, getting some touches here late in the game. Trying to put this one away here, and you got to imagine Hartford will take some time between plays, trying to milk this clock. Touchdown, put them up 4 scores.
If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch our local shows and games anytime on our website at ycnnow.com.
So Perkins and looks like Burek in the backfield. Hamilton under center. Inside 9 minutes to play. Clock moving. Handoff goes to Burek. He is through the pile, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
Burek getting another carry there, and nice job by him getting the score. Burek, just a sophomore running back, but when a number of these seniors graduate next year, I'm sure he'll be used more often. Nice job by the Hurricanes, getting another touchdown, now going up 28-0. We'll try to tack on 2 more here.
So 2 more points up for grabs here for the Hurricanes. They lead 28-0. Hamilton will keep it himself. It doesn't really have much, but he fires into the end zone, and it's complete. 2-point conversion is good. Perkins, I believe. He found Perkins in the front corner of the end zone after it looked like he was out of that play. So the Hurricanes with the touchdown and the two-point conversion. They go up 30-0. 8:48 to play in the fourth quarter. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. Hartford Hurricanes lead the Mount Mansfield Cougars 30-0. 8:48 to play in this one. And the Hurricanes have just added to their lead with a 3-yard touchdown run. Zachary Burek. Kick is away, fielded at the 14-yard line by number 80, Mason Combs. He runs out to his right, and he is not really going anywhere. But he's staying on his feet. So good effort there by Combs. Flag down on the near side, all the way on the other side of the field.
Certainly made quite an effort out of that one to get where he was. Probably got about 8 yards or so.
Next week's YCN Game of the Week will feature a New Hampshire high school football semifinal game. Check local listings for air and replay times.
Not sure what the penalty, it was on Mount Mansfield. So that will back them up to about the 11-yard line or so. 11-12, and that's where they'll take over. 8:32 to play in this one. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to tie this one up. Bumbled snap. It's down and it's loose, but looks like the Cougars were able to fall on it. So not really much going right here for the Cougars in this second half after really putting together a nice first half. They trailed 14-0 at half, and until 1:45 to play in the third quarter, they were still right in this. And then the 60-yard touchdown run by Hamilton made it 22-0, and then that 3-yard touchdown run made it 30-0. So kind of got out of hand in a hurry.
Right. And if Mount Mansfield was able to score a touchdown on the 5-yard line when they probably should have, that really would have changed this game, would have made it a one-score game early on, but since then it's been all Hartford.
Handoff this time to Hackney. He cuts to the left side. He's met immediately by a couple defenders. And he's tackled for a short gain. That'll bring up third down at the 9-yard line.
YCN is now affiliated with the Heroes and Icons Network, drawing from timeless classics as well as more contemporary TV. All eyes are on HNI.
Third down. Carlson dropping back, firing deep down the field, and it's broken up. And number 11, Harrison Leon Bruno Nicholson, kind of had to play defender there, as that was going to be intercepted by Porter. Just tipped away by the receiver.
Yeah, there have been a number of passes tonight from the Cougars. It really looked like Hartford was going to intercept the ball, but Mount Mansfield's receivers have done a nice job of actually defending the ball more than actually catching it.
So fourth down and about 13. Sorry, fourth and 13. Punt formation here. Carlson punts it away out of his own end zone, and it's out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So a tough punt there off the side of the foot of Carlson. And with 7:04 to play, we'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. Hartford Hurricanes leading 30-0, and they will just keep the ball on the ground. You got to imagine, keep the clock moving. No need to air it out and risk any injuries or any turnovers.
Yeah, if I'm Hartford, I'm definitely taking at least Tyler Hamilton out of this game. Hurricanes up big here, midway through the fourth quarter. I don't really see any scenario they could lose this game, so I'm putting in my backup guys, but Matt Trombley has a different idea. He knows his team. That's why he's the coach.
Tyler Hamilton's still in there, as you mentioned, under center. Perkins behind him. Hurricanes taking as long as they can. The handoff goes to Rhodes on the left side, and he breaks free for another touchdown when it looked like he was going to be tackled, but there's going to be a holding penalty. So that's going to come all the way back, as we all saw the flag. The offensive line just standing there, and they knew that was going to be called against them. So an exciting moment there was brief. Holding penalty knocks the offense back. And that will be a repeat of second down. They'll mark the ball. Looks like they'll mark it at about the 38-yard line, excuse me. And they have to get to the 20. Second and 18.
18 for the Hurricanes.
6:06 to play here in the game, excuse me. Hand off to Perkins, and he barrels for a handful of yards, 10 yards. Gets inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and 8. Now we're inside 6 minutes, clock moving. Once again, Hurricanes will be moving on to face St. Johnsbury or BFA St. Albans. Is that the team that I believe is?
Yep.
And they played, we saw that team here against Hartford, right?
Right.
Obviously Hartford winning that one. Their only loss was to St. Johnsbury as Hunter Perkins scampers for another 7 yards. Just outside the 20, that'll bring up 4th and short, and you got to imagine they'll just be going for it on the sneak here or some sort of running play. We need to kick a field goal or punt or 4th and short. Hamilton looking at the sidelines for direction, trying to get a call from Coach Trombley. You'll be at the next game, Vermont High School. We won't be broadcasting that, but you'll be getting some footage as all 3 Vermont divisions play on the same day. Pitch there goes to Porter. He's going to sweep to the left side. He has a couple of men. He jukes one of them and then cuts back. And he gets the first down. Ref falls down on the far side. He appears to be okay, but Porter gets the first down, and that'll move the chains, keep the clock moving.
Tune in every week for YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's college and professional sports with the Salt Hill Pub NFL Picks of the Week. And starting next week, Sports Wrap will feature specials on Vermont and New Hampshire high school championships in football and girls soccer. Check for air schedules at ycnnow.com.
So 1st and 10.
First and goal.
Right at the 10-yard line.
Just inside the 10-yard line. Hartford playing that clock. Countdown. Just outside 4 minutes to play. Hamilton under center, man in motion. The reverse, it goes to Porter, and he'll be brought down in the backfield for a loss of yards. 2nd down and goal.
56 Fisher was on the tackle. Lost a couple on that play, so no.
So 2nd and goal here.
2nd and goal from the 12.
From the 12-yard line. Approaching 3.5 minutes to play in this one. Hartford can't pick up a first down, so they've either got to score or it's a turnover on down. So unless there's a penalty and an automatic first down, Cougars will get the ball back one more time. Porter in motion. Handoff up the middle. Falling forward for a couple yards. That'll be 3rd down. So Andrew came into this game with Hartford, 12 straight home playoff games. We mentioned that a couple times. We'll extend that to 13 straight home playoff games, and that will be intact until next season because, of course, as we mentioned, next week, not at home. Coach Trombley will be going back to the championship game and looking for his second straight title. Very exciting here in the area. Hamilton in the shotgun, but a little bit of motion illegally. All starts, so that'll bring it back. And if you're the Cougars, you know, I don't want to say you go back to the drawing board because you had a good season, 6th seed, upsetting Burlington on the road, and then you come down here to White River Junction and really play a tough Hartford squad. Obviously, we saw, like I said, they put up 53 points last week. They'll go back to their second straight championship game. No shame in their season for the Cougars. So you'll just try and come back and build on this season, which was your first playoff appearance in 8 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the years they missed the playoffs, they were not very good at all. It wasn't like they were close. So really a huge turnaround for that program. Playing in Hartford against such a good Hurricane team. You got to give them credit this season.
There's Hamilton keeping it himself. He's going to be short of the end zone. That'll bring up 4th down. Clock moving, so see what they do here. 4th down and goal. Next snap will be inside 2 minutes. After this snap, we can do the player of the game.
So number 23, Griffin Erickson. Number 33, Nate Trudeau. Number 55, Silas Howell.
So 4th down and goal here. Inside, a minute 40 to play. Perkins goes in motion. Handoff up the middle, and that's Rhodes with the touchdown, 5-yard touchdown run. And this game is 6 points. The deficit is 6 points more for the Cougars.
So now I think it's a good time to hand out our HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat player of the game. And in this game, I think it's obvious we got to give it to quarterback Tyler Hamilton, senior quarterback. He was directly responsible for 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 big rushing plays. One was a 60-yard rushing play. The other was a big, long pass to Austin Gaudet. Tyler Hamilton also big on defense, getting a number of big tackles. Really just led his team to the victory here tonight. Congratulations to Hamilton on the HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat player of the game.
Yeah, very exciting game. We were hoping for a little bit more competitive game, but the home crowd is impressed by this performance. And a 14-point first half. They've now exploded for 23 points in this second half. And unless the Cougars can score in the final 94 seconds, they will go 6 straight quarters scoreless to end their season. So as we know in this division, you got to be able to put up points. They had a nice defensive effort against Burlington, and even though they were held scoreless for the second half, they won that game. But coming down here, if you can't put up points, you're not going to get the win, and they've seen that tonight. But a young team, and they'll be back next year, I'm sure. They'll be building on this first playoff appearance. And if you're Hartford, you have it all on the line next week over in Rutland. Whoever you played them once, you lost to St. Johnsbury, you beat BFA. You'll have plenty of scouting, you'll have plenty of tape. It's just going to matter who's going to execute.
Right, yeah. When St. Johnsbury and Hartford faced off, I believe Hartford lost 13-22, so it was a close game. You know, who knows who's going to come out on top, but definitely fitting for the 1 and 2 teams to meet in the championship. It's going to be hard for the Hurricanes to win that game, but I think they'll be up to the task. It really looks like this team is peaking at the right time.
And you'll be over there in Rutland, as we mentioned, getting some footage for the show. And a little squib kick there. That'll go out of bounds at the 40-yard line. We also have a couple other local teams that could make it. Windsor and Woodstock are playing in semifinals. They could face off, and we saw a great game a couple weeks ago down in Windsor. Bellows Falls, another local team there in their semifinal division too. So should be an exciting day of final matchup. All 3 games over in Rutland, Vermont. And over on the New Hampshire side, as you mentioned, we'll have a game in the playoffs. Maybe a Hanover game. If they can win their matchup, possibly Newport if we don't get a victory by Hanover. So lots of opportunity and still a couple weeks of good football left. So Cougars taking over at the 39-yard line. Looks like Matt Wixon in for the Cougars. And he'll keep it himself. Good fake there. Gets across the 50-yard line to about the 45. And first down for the Cougars. 1:27 to play. Cougars trying a last-ditch effort to get some points on the board and avoid the shutout. $37-0 our score. All Hurricanes in this one. Wixon dropping back. He's going to fire it deep. Overthrows his receiver. Diamond was just not able to get to that one, but a flag on the play. Flag at the 35-yard line. Penalty is on the Cougars, so that'll be a replay of first down after they mark the yardage off. 1:10 to play here in the game. And Andrew, you'll be over filming the game, the Vermont game, so you won't be at our New Hampshire game. So this will be our last chance for the football season to work together. It's been a fun season.
It has, yeah.
We've been all the way up and down the Connecticut River Valley, New Hampshire, Vermont, both sides of the river. A lot of fun, a lot of good games. We've had a good season. We'll obviously be back together for basketball.
Right.
So, deep pass there, and that ball is caught, and that's a deep ball complete to Silas Diamond, and he's tackled at the inside the 10-yard line. A nice pass, and the Cougars will take a timeout as they want to get on the board here. They don't want to end being shut out. 1:02 to play, 37-0 our score. Good season that kicked off in North Sutton, New Hampshire. Labor Day weekend, it was a Friday night game. The Cougars and the Tigers meeting for the second straight year to kick off the season, and the Cougars dropping a defensive struggle, if I remember, in that one. Tigers, who obviously won that game, and now they're in the playoffs, and they're trying to take another title home after winning one a couple years ago. So first down and goal. Handoff up the middle, and the touchdown for the Cougars.
I apologize, I do not have a name for 21 with the Cougars, but it is a Cougar touchdown.
Touchdown Cougars.
Correction, my eyesight is not doing this so well.
Was that Dylan Davis? I couldn't tell, 28.
It's Dylan Davis.
So Davis with the touchdown there to most likely cap the scoring here. And the Cougars will not be shut out. Their first touchdown they've scored since the second quarter of the previous game. 2-point conversion here. Quarterback keeper, and he fires it out to Diamond, and Diamond gets the 2-point conversion. And the touchdown, or the 2-point conversion to make it 37-8. 58 seconds to play. We'll take a final timeout. We're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Final 58 seconds here from White River Junction, Vermont, where the Cougars have just gotten on the board. We break the shutout up, 37-8. The extra point, the 2-point conversion was converted. Now the onside kick is out of bounds, and that'll be Hartford football. They'll kneel down a couple times and run the clock out, and our coverage of game action for Vermont high school football will be concluded for another year. Obviously, Andrew will have tons of footage of the championship games. We just won't be doing the full game, and then next week we'll move over to the New Hampshire side, as we mentioned. So don't forget to check the website, ycnnow.com, for that information, and Andrew and I will reconvene in the winter for some basketball. Always fun. We do a lot of, like this year for football, up and down, Lebanon, Hanover, Hartford. Trying to get down south to Merrimack Valley. Over to Rutland maybe this year, up to Middlebury. Windsor, always a good matchup with Walpole, or with Windsor and Woodstock.
Yeah, that would sure be exciting if those two teams can match up again. Thought that was going to be the finals matchup last year, but Woodstock ended up losing the tournament earlier than expected.
So a couple of kneel downs should do it. Imagine they'd have to get another one. So that's going to basically run the clock out. And the final score here, Hartford wins it 37-8 over the Cougars of Mount Mansfield. And as we've mentioned multiple times, the Hurricanes will be going on to the finals next week over in Rutland against either St. Johnsbury or BFA St. Albans. Final snap there, and that should officially do it. Players congratulating the winning team. Very cordial atmosphere on the field, but a celebratory atmosphere on the sidelines of the Hartford Hurricanes. They win it 37-8 and advance to their second straight championship game under Coach Matt Trombley. Play for the championship next week in Rutland, Vermont. The final score, 37-8, thanks to Deb and Alex. For Andrew Zerhide, I'm Jeremy Stout. Thanks for watching the YCN Game of the Week.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Lowen Windows of Vermont and New Hampshire, providing solution-oriented, extraordinary service before, during, and after the sale. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.